Hi, I'm Jay Allen from My TrueNORTH, and in today's brief video we're going to talk about the importance of a vision statement. The chances are that you may have come across the term vision statement in the past, either in a previous employment or at least you've heard of a vision statement, and yet the chances are if you're working in an SME you might perceive a vision statement to be only necessary and relevant in a big corporate entity, something that's got multiple offices and thousands of staff and operates in different continents and countries. And I'm here to tell you that nothing could be further from the truth. It's just as important in a micro business with one or two members of staff than it is in a big corporate entity. So what is a vision statement? A vision statement describes what a company desires to achieve in the longer term, generally in a time frame of 5, 10, possibly even longer years from now. It depicts a vision of what the company will look like in the future and sets a defined direction for the planning and execution across all different levels of a business. Now, don't get me wrong, I've seen many a vision statement that's been concocted over a weekend by half a dozen leaders and managers that have been put onto some nice glossy posters and brochures and then subsequently stuck around headquarters in and into every business reception area, with the perception that once we've got this vision statement that everything's okay, I can tick that off the list. And nothing could be further from the truth. Whilst a mission statement, and you'll see in our other videos the importance of a mission statement, whilst a mission statement tends to be written by the senior leadership team and the shareholders in the business, a vision statement has to have a contribution from every single stakeholder in the business. You tend to find that a vision statement starts off from the very grassroots of the business and then it emulates all the way through the business. Every single person who's involved in it needs to have a contribution to it to determine what does the future of the business look like in their eyes, in their perception. Where do we want to go? It's about a question and answer session. It's about a consultation. It's about being able to get people to communicate together and to determine as to what does the future of this business look like. Because if we're going to create a vision statement that's worthwhile anything at all, it's got to be something that each and every member of the team buys into and understands that the contribution that they're making today and tomorrow and the next day and how that contributes to the overall success of the business. So we tend to start with a vision statement or start with a series of questions with regards to what do we all collectively believe the vision for the business in the future to be. And let's base it at 5, 10, possibly even 20 years in the future and say, what does the future of X look like? What do we all think that this might look like? Where do you think we will be in 5, 10, 20 years? Which geography do you think we'll be operating in? Who will our clients be? Starts to get a general consensus of opinion with regards to where the current people in the team believe the business to be heading in the next 5, 10, 15 years. And from this, we can start to look for some consistencies in terms of language, and of phrases that are being used and perception of where the business is heading. Now it comes to be able to correlate all of the different thoughts and ideas and suggestions from the stakeholders within the business and starts to compact that into a single sentence or a very short phrase. Something that once we communicate it to the business and from the business, everybody within the business understands how what they do contributes towards that as a future goal and aspiration. We can start to assign tasks and responsibilities and understanding the contribution that what we are doing right now has on the long-term vision of the business. And it's only when we can get a succinct statement that everyone understands and is behind, that is bought into and understands the benefit and the value, that we can almost start to test and measure to determine, is the activity I'm doing right here and right now, and how does that contribute towards the vision of the future? Now, if it's a clear conversation, if we really understand as to how what we're doing today is contributing towards the future, then that's a positive sign. But if we're having to be quite elaborate with regards to how we're trying to justify the actions that we're taking today and whether it contributes towards the future vision of the business, then either the vision statement isn't congruent enough with exactly what the business is trying to achieve, or the activity is probably outside of scope and perhaps ought to be questioned as to whether that's actually what we still ought to be doing if we're heading towards where we've set out to achieve. So a vision statement is contributed to by all stakeholders. It's then correlated into a common language that we all understand and agree to, and we can congruently understand as to how what we are doing on a day-to-day basis is contributing towards that as a future. And that is how to write a vision statement. Again, if you want some help and support, either log into our mytruenorth.club, our members only page where all of these videos will be accessible in our Quartermaster stores. Alternatively, get in touch with any of our scale coaches and we'd be delighted to be able to help and support you and your business to be able to create a vision statement that anyone and everyone can start to get behind. That's Jay Allen from My True North, the UK's leading ethical coaching company. Take care and I'll see you again soon.